Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 1 of Pokemon Blue Moon with your friends Keith
and Will.
We actually got Will's face moving on this video.
We upped the budget.
We upped the budget a little bit. We're recording a Skype call. This probably isn't the best way to record a Skype call, but we'll figure it out. Will, tell the folks what we're doing here and what we have done before.
So we are here doing a sequel to a beloved series that we've done together. The only series we've done together on Tank Media Games. It was called Blue to Black. Keith here has only played, well, up until earlier this year, he had only played Pokemon Blue to completion. I've made him go and play Pokemon Black to completion, hence Blue to Black. And we checked to see how, it held up compared to the original, that Keith enjoyed it as much, etc., etc. And now we're going to do a sequel to that with one of my other favorite Pokemon generations, which is the Alola games, Pokemon Sun and Moon. So we're playing through Pokemon Moon, I believe, and so we're going to call this one Blue Moon. So thanks for joining us, folks. Episode 1, baby.
It's a good name. Absolutely.
It is a good name. Isn't it cute?
It's very cute. That's how people describe everything we do, Will. Very cute.
Of course. And also this is heavily inspired by Easy Allies Brandon Plays Pokemon, because I love that series so much. I just wanted Keith to be my Brandon, and we're doing another one, and it's exciting.
I'm glad you mentioned that. It would be unfair to do this without mentioning that it had an inspiration somewhere, because it's a little bit too close.
Yeah.
So let's start. What do you want to talk about? Played through. I've done a challenge, and we could really even talk about. I've defeated the grandpa on the first island.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so you've pretty much taken down Melee Island, which is what? Yeah, nice. Okay. The first thing that happens in this game, Keith, is we get an opening cutscene, and we've never had an opening cutscene to this degree in a Pokemon game before. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of exciting. And then it hits you with the 3 months later, so the story, the story has scale.
Right. Yeah, it does. Remind me what happened in that opening cutscene. I know I've done it the most recently, but I probably might not have been paying attention.
Yeah, and I've played through this game at least 3 times. And I played Ultra Sun and Moon last year, which was incredibly similar, so I've seen this opening cutscene quite a few times. You remember the girl Lily?
Yeah. Oh, no, yep. I remember exactly what happened now.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. There's some mysterious people in all white get-ups, and they're chasing her. She's clearly, stolen something, maybe, or she has something. Mm-hmm. And she's escaping from this complex, which you've not been there. I don't think it's a spoiler to tell you you're going to go there in the game.
Sure.
But I don't think you've been there, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay. So yeah, I guess you've set up the framework of what all we're going to discuss in this episode. So I guess we're going to be going from the opening cutscene all the way to Grandpa. Mm-hmm. Grandpa. Okay. So,
beating up on Grandpa.
Yeah. Anything stand out to you about that cutscene? The graphics are a lot better than the one you played on the DS?
Yeah, a lot different. A lot more 3D. Yeah. It's been a few months since I played the one on the 3DS, but yeah, we've come down, and now we're almost not completely horizontal, but we are almost level with the characters now. They are more than very short dwarf people.
The most exciting thing to me about that is just that we're not stuck to a grid anymore. Yeah. Whenever you move around, you can actually go in 360 degrees. Maybe not 360 degrees exactly, but close enough. A lot closer than 4. But yeah, that's really exciting to me. Why don't you tell the folks at home, Keith, what your starter Pokemon is? I think I know.
Okay, my starter Pokemon is a Litten. It's the Fire Cat. You want me to tell you why I chose that one?
Why'd you choose that one?
Well, I wanted to choose the water Pokemon because I chose fire last time. But those other 2 Pokemon look too stupid to choose. I don't really like the way any of these 3 look. I'm sorry.
You don't feel like how Litten looks? He's a black cat, dude. That's cool.
Out of the 3, yeah, he looks the most. My whole thing is I can't get past the fact that I'm about to put these creatures into combat. And this little clown water thing, not intimidating.
That's true.
The owl doesn't look like he's ever moved. He looks like he's a motionless stuffed creature. The cat is the only one that looks like he's actually willing to put somebody in the dirt,
Yeah, at least you're being very utilitarian about this.
I'm trying to be. I just don't like. I don't like the idea of just having like a big acute party. You know, I wanna have a useful one. I want to be intimidating when I walk through Alola.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you want to know which one I chose in my journey, Keith?
Who?
That water guy.
Of course. I'm sorry, Will.
Of course.
Of course, the one I'm trashing on is the one you picked.
I love that guy. His evolution, he definitely gets cooler as he grows up. But he's one of those starters that should like always be a girl, but he's not always a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured he did end up. They all end up looking pretty cool, but it's just I couldn't get past like I'm gonna have to spend like 15, 20 levels or whatever with this little clown fella.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just take the kind of cool looking fire cat.
Yeah. What'd you name your fire cat?
I named him Hot Pocket.
Hot Pocket.
I don't know why. He looked like a hot pocket to me, so his name's Hot Pocket.
Yeah, it's fitting. Who actually? I was about to say Professor Kukui gives you the starter, but it's actually Hala, isn't it? Your rival's grandfather.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tosses out those 3 Pokeballs.
Yeah. But what do you think about Professor Kukui?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we're in Alola, so he doesn't have to wear a shirt.
Yeah.
It seems like any sort of research you'd be doing, you wouldn't want to contaminate. I'm sorry, well, there's a take a snapshot and share it to chat like prompt in front of your face that will just have to exist there because I don't know how to get rid of it. But yeah, he doesn't wear a shirt, and I feel like you're doing research. You're a scientist. Maybe you should wear a shirt. You don't want any of those chest hairs down in your research, your petri dishes or whatever.
That's true.
But he's all right.
I think he's a bit of a masochist because it seems like the only research he does is on Pokemon moves. Yeah. And it seems like the way that he conducts that research is that he makes them attack him. So I feel like there's a little bit of a dark side.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
But yeah, I like how he calls you. I don't know if you remember. Whenever you start the game, he's like Skyping you. Yeah. Because you're coming to Alola, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, cousin?" And it's like this Hawaii, and as someone who has seen every episode of the Lilo and Stitch show, that just makes my heart sing whenever he calls me cousin. Mm-hmm. Love it.
That's a good. I remember the Lilo and Stitch show. That was.
I think it held up to the movie, honestly. I mean, we look back on the movie a lot more fondly than the TV show, but it was a good show.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Not to get too sidetracked.
Yeah, not too sidetracked on the Lilo and Stitch show. That's kind of a big jump. I'll be honest with you, man. The beginning was slow. It is
really slow, Keith. It's really slow. It's probably like what, an hour and a half before you even get your starter.
It just took so long because it was like, all right, good morning. Let's walk and talk to this person. And then you know that I don't really like JRPGs to begin with. I don't like the voiceless reading of people's conversations a lot of times because I think my problem with it is that I can just click through. Like I can read pretty quickly, so I read it and then I click. I don't give it time to actually be dramatic or whatever. Yeah. So it was just I felt like I was reading for so long. It felt like it just took so long before I could make any sort of choice on my own. And I mean, I'm beyond it now, but it was whew.
Yeah, you're in the home stretch now. The home stretch is very long though. So not saying like you're almost done with the game, but it's about to get a lot more fast paced.
Cool.
But yeah, the beginning is kind of rough. The Ultra versions of this game kind of fix that, but then they butcher the story, which a big reason I wanted you to play Black last time was because the story was really good. The story in this one is also really, really good. Okay. And I think it's more personal than Black and White was too, I feel. So you might actually like it more as we go on. But I guess we kind of dilly-dallied a little bit. This episode's already getting a little long in the tooth. How did you feel about the trials, Keith?
The trials, I thought it was different because normally you go through and you're fighting a gym leader, but really the structure is the same. You fight, at least so far with the first one. I don't know if they'll continue to be that way, but you fight through area with several battles you have to go through, Pokemon that you have to fight.
The Pokemon, you can't run from them, so it's a lot like fighting a gym trainer.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you move to another room where there's like a totem, and you, I guess, knock on the totem and say like, "Come get me, big boy." And then a big version of that Pokemon comes and tries to get you. The first trial is all those young gooses, young geese.
Uh-huh.
I don't know
Yep.
what the plural is.
Yeah.
But are we going to talk about how those look like Donald Trump or not?
Yeah, we are actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
It was very topical of them too, because this game actually came out in 2016, so
Really?
during the election cycle.
Really?
I feel like they had to know.
Yeah, surely they had to know. Somebody
Yeah.
at Game Freak or whatever has got an agenda.
Yeah, for sure. They might have to work their way into our next game talk.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You know
But
how
yeah.
we can find that drama.
so what you're telling me, Keith, is you caught a young goose, right?
I caught a young goose, and he was in my party for a little while, or she was in my party for a little while, which made it a lot odder that she looked like
Yeah,
Donald Trump,
like the Don.
the Don. But I got rid of her at the first chance because she was too normal for me. I think a little bit. Like it was just like I have all these cool magical Pokemon, then I've got a Weasel in my party.
Yeah.
But-
Did you name her Melania?
No, I named her Smiley because of the teeth. I didn't notice that she looked like Donald Trump until it just looked like you're forcing that smile with the sharp teeth.
That's what she looks like. It's like that emoji, you know, the one that's like,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Well,
what
that's
it's like.
perfect. That's perfect rendition of the young goose.
Well, thank you. So yeah, the structure of Trial is very similar, but the flavor of it, I think, was a very nice refresher, especially because the first one it's like that nice little cave.
Mm-hmm.
And you got like it's a cool looking cave too, because it's got like the sun beaming through in certain parts, and it's just really, really nice.
Yeah. We
And
got
then,
Z Power. Z Power. It was
Z-Power, yes.
used on us, I think.
Yes. So, and you can now use one, right? You can harness the power of Z Power.
I now have Z Power. Absolutely.
Have you used a Z move yet?
I used it one time, I think. I don't remember who I used it on, but I used it on somebody.
Yeah, it's one of those things where once you get one that's of the same type as a Pokemon you're using, it's going to be a lot more useful.
Right.
Like, as of right now, you just got a normal type one, and using a normal type one with a Litten isn't going to do a whole lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, once you catch, I told you to catch a Stuffle on the next island. If you catch one of those, you should definitely give it the normal Z Crystal.
Okay.
'Cause it's normal. It's a normal / fighting type. So, yeah. So after you do that trial, you then go back to town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the square, and Hala says, "Step up, son."
Step up, son. You little twerp. Grandpa's got to teach you a lesson.
Oh yeah, and he's Hal's grandfather, correct?
Yes. He's I guess your rival, but your kind of sweet, kind rival.
Yeah,
in this.
you're gonna get a more rivalish rival later on.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Hal's not all you got. But yeah, Hal's he's all about having a good time. It's all about eating malasadas, whatever that is.
Yeah. He's all about eating.
Yeah. So you fight Hala, and he's got fighting type Pokemon, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does. He does indeed.
Got a little Makuhita, the dude with the boxing gloves.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has the little crab guy too, crab roller.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a
you have
good
any
fight.
trouble with him, really?
I did not, because early in the game I caught myself a drowsy. I caught one early on. One of the things that I would like to mention is that I was really happy to see like the Kanto region Pokemon in this game.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
I was worried that I would have to endure another Pokemon game without the Pokemon that I really liked.
Yeah.
But then when I caught a Caterpie, I was like, okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. So I did actually end up evolving that Caterpie from a Caterpie all the way to a Butterfree before
nice.
this battle. But I had a Drowsy. I named him Honks because of his nose. And he helped me, or she, I think it's a girl. She helped me a great deal in that fight. I also have a Wingull named Floater because they just float there.
Uh-huh.
And between the two of them with the flying moves and the like psychic stuff, it was a pretty easy battle. I kind of switched everybody out trying to get some good XP, but it wasn't too bad.
Nice. So, do you have a team right now that you could run through for the folks, or
Yeah, man, I got a team.
Okay.
One of the first things I do whenever I start is just I every new Pokemon I see, I catch it.
Uh-huh.
But those first 6 become the team. I don't have any huge attachment to many of these, but they're the coolest ones so far that I've found. So first is now I will reveal to you that beyond Hala, I haven't done anything important, but I have some evolution, so I won't tell you about that yet. I'm going to just take you through the party that defeated Hala.
Okay.
So I had a Litten named Hot Pocket. One important catch that I made on the way around the back side of the island was a Growlithe. I've never had a Growlithe, but I would probably say he's one of my favorite Pokemon. And I'm really excited about fighting with him and leveling him up and getting an Arcanine. But I have a Growlithe. His name is Woofer. I've got a Butterfree that I forgot to name when I caught it as Caterpie, so his name is Butterfree. I have a Drowsy named Honks, a Rufflet named Afro.
Ooh, Rufflet.
And a Wingull named Floater.
Nice.
The reason Rufflet is in my party is because I noticed that he had this thing where when I was fighting him, he could call in help. And I thought that was a move, and that it's not a move.
No, it's a ability that wild Pokemon now have.
Right.
Alola. Because I think the thing is that in Alola, Pokemon like have more of a sense of community for some reason. And so like that's why they can call for help and another wild Pokemon will show up.
Sure, maybe people haven't been there for... Go ahead.
Yeah. Maybe they just pick up on the good vibes of the people in Alola.
Because
everyone in Alola is very jolly, Keith. I don't know, I kind of want to go into that really fast before we wrap things up.
Sure,
but just,
they are jolly.
Sure, you can like... The Alola region has a lot more of an identity than Unova does, or Unova.
Sure.
A lot of that is because Unova is based on the continental United States, and that's all about like a melting pot. So they wanted every city to kind of be different. But Alola's got a very clear vibe that it kind of throughout. In terms of visual, like it's got a visual vibe. Everything. I mean, it all looks very tropical, and it's also got like a communal vibe, like a very Hawaiian, familial, loving thing.
Sure.
As we get deeper into the story, you'll notice that seems to be the predominant theme of this game is like family and connection and stuff like that.
So far, I don't think in any other game they've asked you to talk to your mom so much.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I've talked to my mom
she's probably got the most of a personality.
She can heal my Pokemon, or she could. I don't know if she still can, but she could. But yeah, they ask you to like, make sure you go talk to your mom, which at first I'm like, man, I'm really frustrated. I don't want to have to go back and talk to my mom. But then it's like, well, they're making an effort because normally it's like, hey, your mom says hello to you, then you're gone for 8 years, and you come back with all these Pokemon. And
yeah. One more thing before we get into that evolution you were talking about. Dang, what was I about to say? I just completely lost it.
I don't know.
Let me see. Give me a second.
Sure. Now, well, I'll tell you
Alolan forms, Keith. You know what I'm talking about?
It's like regular Pokemon that I know, but they'll have their own kind of Alolan spin.
Yeah, they've adapted. It's like actual real life evolution. Super cool. I love that concept. I hope it comes back in the next game.
Sure.
Not necessarily that I want the next game to take place in Alola, but like whatever the new region is, give them regional variants. So I think that's just such a cool idea. Like a regional variant of a classic Pokemon.
I agree. I think that's another effort at this world building. They're still not going to be able... I just don't know if they're ever going to be able to get me with the whole world building and Pokemon, just because there's like 100 people on this island. Like you like it's I walk through the city, but I just don't believe it. Like they're making an effort with like the let's go get something to eat or whatever, but I know that there's only ever going to be one person in that building, or two people or a person sitting down. So that's one thing I struggle with. I have to turn off that that part of my brain and just go, like suspend disbelief or whatever. But I do appreciate I haven't seen an Alolan form yet, except for the Rattata. I've seen like the black Rattata.
One thing that I thought was really cool is whenever Hal comes over to your house the first time. I think this happens at the beginning. He comes in and he's like, "Whoa, is that a Cantonian Meowth?" And it's like that's funny that they called him Cantonian forms.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So what you said you had an evolution, Keith?
No, I was going to tell you that I'm going to save that for the next video because it's happened in the next portion. I don't want to spoil anything for you.
I thought it was like right before you left the island. You just had a quick evolution.
Oh no, sadly not.
Gotcha.
Sadly not. Also, I guess we should talk about. I've met those skull people or whatever.
Yeah.
They're irritating, dude. I don't like them.
Keith, hang in there. There's
Okay.
a twist, and there's a larger narrative purpose for them.
Okay. I
They're
just
but they're but a cog in a machine.
it's just it seems like this so obtuse view of hip hop. Like
It's
we want to
definitely
make
like a Japanese view on hip hop.
yeah. We need to do like a let's do it like the Americans with their hip hop, and let's make sure they do all this and say hip and yo, and it's odd. It's fine. I mean, I don't know anything about hip hop, but it's just odd.
Yeah, it's like a Japanese perception of hip hop that stayed in the '90s or the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they're kind of cute. Actually, give them a chance. Give them a chance.
I will. I'm not here to trash on anything. I'm just telling you my impressions.
Yeah. Well, I always appreciate your honesty, Keith.
Sure. I don't really have much else for this video, man. I feel like we got things started. Unless you got more questions.
No, I think we're good. We run through the bullet list, checklist.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to be playing some more this week. It's Monday morning, so I got another week to play.
Alrighty. That's by next time you'll have defeated 2 trials, right?
Yes, I'll do my best. I'll do my best because I have that. I'm heading to the new island soon.
Yes.
See what I find there. But yeah, if I get some slow times at work, or if I catch a lunch break free, I'll be all up in Alola.
Alrighty.
Well,
and if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Of course. Yeah, sometimes I have to text Will on the sly off camera to figure out what we're doing. Well, I've enjoyed it. I hope everyone else has enjoyed our first episode of Blue Moon, which is a great title. Again, great title. But we will see you next time. Will, you got anything else for him?
Nope, thanks for joining us, folks.
All right, we love you very much. Bye-bye.